Hello there friends, today we're going to be comparing two legends in the world of audio, the Shure SM7B and the Electro-Voice RE20. They are what I consider to be the epitome of amazing voice capture, the final upgrade you're probably ever going to need for a microphone. Both microphones have been around for over 50 years and they haven't had much updates since, but that's for good reason. They sound absolutely beautiful on next to anything you throw at them. The SM7B's use across podcasting needs no introduction. I think some people already know that it's been used on some Michael Jackson albums, but it's also been used in a lot of Red Hot Chili Pepper albums. And so has the RE20. From Stevie Wonder to Paul McCartney, they're both great options. Now the SM7B is going to set you back $400 if you buy it brand new. And the RE20 is not going to be much nicer to you at $450. And if you decide to pick it up somewhere in Asia or Europe, it may set you back $550 or more, and I don't know why. Now, let's start with the SM7B. Why the SM7B? See, I think you can hear it already, but this microphone has a very dark, very warm and soft sound. It's non-fatiguing to listen to for hours at a time, and it works really well on practically all kinds of voices, from high to low ones. It's also designed in such a way to kind of force you to use it correctly. It also has such a pretty beautiful design. I've almost not seen a single setup where I've seen this microphone and I felt like it wouldn't fit. The design and implementation also means that it does absolutely incredible at rejecting background noise and most, desk and keyboard rumbles. Its build quality is also outstanding. You can continue to use this microphone forever, and the only thing you might ever need to change is the foam. Maybe that'll probably be like once in a decade. So overall, next to flawless on this thing, just love it. And now for the RE20. The RE20 gives you this radio voice that you're probably used to. It's a little flat, but it's also kind of mid-forward. But it also has nice amplification to sounds that make your voice sound, well, good. And thus, it does great at cutting your voice into a mix. So while it's not as flat as the SM7B, it has character, which makes it really great for out-of-the-box experience for voiceovers or for streaming, if you don't have any effects on it, that is. Now, what makes this microphone so special, some may call it a selling point, is how beautifully it handles the proximity effect. See, this microphone's capsule is designed in such a way that it doesn't have too much bass whenever you get close to the microphone. That is called the proximity effect, an effect that every single dynamic microphone besides this one has. Now, a little bit of it is still there because physics, but it's a lot less amplified than most microphones. Now, to me, that makes it a lot easier to work with in EQing or post-production work on this microphone. And now, why not the SM7B? See, while the SM7B is going to give you this flat, warm, dark sound, that also means that it's a little bit boring. And boring doesn't always mean bad. See, if something is so good at doing its job that you forget it's ever there as an inconvenience to you, then it does great. For applications that requires your voice to stand out, like voiceovers or ads and things like that, and sometimes singing, this boring sound probably is not what you're looking for. It sounds neat, but it doesn't give your voice character, if that makes sense. The other thing that you probably already heard about is the hungriness for gain. This microphone requires about 60 decibels of pure gain, which is something that a lot of interfaces have a hard time doing. Now, you can either spend $70 to $100 getting a Fethead or a Dynamite or the infamous Cloud Lifter, or you can get an interface with a really good preamp like the SSL2 or the Audient ID4 or the Moto M2. And now the part that my bias does not enjoy at all. Why not get an RE20? Well, it's because while you are getting a beautiful character with the sound, some applications don't need a character. And while, for example, I love how my voice sounds on this microphone, I probably wouldn't pick it as my first option for long-term sessions like podcasts, for example. It has a slightly mid-forward sound that really pushes your voice, but that might get a bit much in some recordings for a long time. In conclusion, I can guarantee that you're gonna love either of those microphones and that they'll outlast your hopes and dreams. But because I'm a little bit biased, I would personally take the RE20, though I can definitely see many people preferring the SM7B for very clear reasons. It's got a very nice design, it's got a bit of a warmer tone, and maybe it's easier to EQ, but if you're looking for this lovely, warm radio sound, you're in for a treat with RE20. Lastly, I feel like it is my duty to mention that if you're starting out on YouTube just now, you do not need these microphones. They're very nice and they sound beautiful, but you can still achieve very usable results from a $25 Behringer, or to be more realistic, an SEV7 that's about $100. They're not going to sound as good, but you probably don't need as good for most applications if you're just starting up. Anyway, I hope this video helped someone out and I hope that you have a good day.